To invest in the people of Nigeria means to invest in human capital development. This means investing in critical sectors like health, education, providing access to capital, and ensuring ease of doing business, having a jobs agenda for our teeming population, and ensuring or instituting an economy of skills, among others.
In our Investing in People report, we identified 6 broad goals and 18 priority actions that would effectively end poverty, improve health and education, reduce inequality, and spur economic growth. Now, these broad goals cover demographics and population, health, education, economy of skills, access to capital, and the macroeconomy.
Currently the 7th most populous country in the world with over 190 million people. We also have one of the highest birth rates in the world, according to UNICEF. About 12% of the 20,210 children born daily might not make it to the age of 5. Having a high population doesn't necessarily confer an advantage, as there has to be a strategy to convert this huge number into a productive workforce. There has to be a strategy for human capital development. Interventions will need to be tailored based on the contributing factors to population growth.
Currently, 90% of health expenses are paid by the citizens from their own pockets, and only 3% of the population actually have health insurance. This means that a lot of Nigerians are just one health crisis away from health-induced poverty. Speaking of state governments, just a few have allocated above 10% of their total budget to health investment. And as for the federal government, just 3.7% of its total 2020 proposed budget was allocated to health.
According to UNICEF, Nigeria still has 10.5 million children out of school. And with the COVID situation, almost every child is out of school, as only a few can afford online education. Nigeria's poor are shut out of learning due to government's inadequate investment in education. And state governments have not shown a higher priority for basic education, as most of them do not have the will to provide matching grants to access UBEC funds for universal basic education. We must rethink education in order to make our teeming population assets rather than liabilities.
Nigeria needs a direct education to employment opportunities through public-private partnerships. As at Q3 2018, Nigeria's underemployment rate was 20.2% of the total population. Many graduates spent 4 to 5 years in colleges paying huge funds only to graduate and settle for lower paying jobs for which 6 to 18 months training would have sufficed. Public-private partnership is the key to unlocking the potential of the country and activating the revenue of Nigeria's human capital.
Recent statistics show that 47% of loans advanced by Nigerian banks were accessed by a mere 100 people. And with the COVID situation that has forced many businesses to shut down, especially small businesses, there is an urgent need for government intervention in ensuring equality of access to commercial loans and palliatives. The absence of visible collateral is often a barrier to accessing loans by those who want to do business. The government needs to invest in popularizing its credit scoring program, credit bureaus, and incentivizing commercial banks, institutional lenders, and manufacturers to extend lines of credit as an alternative to collateral.
Nigeria's growth curve has been a reflection of how its economy is driven by oil price and production. Oil accounts for 79% of revenue collected at federal level and 96% of export revenue. Now, Nigeria's currency has lost over 145% of its value, and we are faced with economic issues like poverty, high inflation rate, and unemployment. So this shows that Nigeria needs firm and ethical leadership to rethink its non-oil exports, build inclusive growth by seeking to expand local industry and strengthening sectors like technology, creative industry, small manufacturing, and mechanized agriculture.
October, it will be 60 years since independence, and it is not clear yet that we have a path to economic prosperity as a nation. Nigeria's population currently is heading towards 200 million. What are we going to do with that huge population. It is time to think development. It is time to think of how to bridge the inequality gap, provide jobs for our teeming young population, invest in education and health, and create a nation that works for all. It is time to invest in the people of Nigeria. You can download our report at www.yourbudget.com/invested in people.